Well, it looks like at least some of Xbox's problems could be solved. A big problem that a lot of people had recently was that it really felt like Xbox Game Pass wasn't really there to kind of push things at the beginning of the year. If you go back and you look, they've really struggled at the beginning of the year when it comes to releasing Xbox games, and that's unfortunate. But now we're at such a particular point in time where it's maybe not going to be as bad, or even they kind of reverse things. So what I mean by that is, remember, we had to go from Forza Motorsport till May. So I believe that was 7-8 months or whatever it was before you get another game from the first party, and people were looking for that to kind of stop. Looks like it is, and we're going to take this with a grain of salt right now, but let's get started. What's up, everybody? I'm Crap Gamer here with Crap Gamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It helps out the channel, and it may mean a lot to me if you guys could just like the videos. Honestly, it doesn't take much. Just like the video. Anyway, I do daily gaming content. If you guys were interested in that, I make sure that it is content that is fun, yet a little bit informative and entertaining at the same time. Not everybody does daily gaming content. I like to do it. I try to find at least a good topic or so for videos and put them out there for you guys. So thank you guys for the support, and happy holidays and all that kind of good stuff. Now listen, like I said earlier, Xbox has not exactly been on the ball when it comes to releasing the games and things like that on a scheduled release, which is kind of a shame. Like, if you have bought into Game Pass and you're in a situation where Game Pass, you're paying for Game Pass for the whole year, which is like, many of us have Game Pass caught up, for the entire year. And, for 6 months, 7 months out of the year, it's really no good because there's nothing there from the first party. Yeah, there's going to be indies or some third party thing, but honestly, is that going to be something worthwhile? I don't really know. For me, for the most part, I'm not really big into the I'm not really big into the indies and stuff like that, so it's just something where I just kind of look at it and go, whatever. But anyway, it looks like Microsoft is actually preparing to release 2 first-party games in early 2025, according to this. Now, it's almost time to finish up 2024 and look ahead to 2025. Could it finally be Xbox's year after us saying that for 7-8 years? It might be. So if we look around the corner at the early months of the year, it seems there's a good chance we'll be getting 2 first-party releases from Xbox very soon. The first of these has been confirmed in the form of Avowed, Obsidian's fantasy RPG, set to arrive on Xbox Game Pass in the middle of February, and of course there's controversy around this, so you have to decide if you want to play it or not, and there's certainly a lot of hope that it'll turn out to be good. We'll see. But what'll come next? Well, the new rumor is that South of Midnight might release in March of 2025. This was suggested by a well-known leaker on their YouTube channel recently, and they also mentioned that it could potentially be getting a release date reveals at the Game Awards as well. So it says South of Midnight rumored to launch in March. They heard that South of Midnight will be shown at the Game Awards, will be given a release date for Xbox Series X and S. Take it with a grain of salt because it's a rumor right now. Windows Central's Jez Gordon appeared to deny this when it was mentioned on social media over the weekend, perhaps indicating that the game could get revealed at an Xbox Developer Direct in January instead. The person who revealed the information is usually very reliable when it comes to leaks, so either their sources have been simply gotten the facts wrong on this occasion, or the Game Awards just isn't the destination for its release date. Either way, we wouldn't be surprised to see South of Midnight going in an early 2025 lineup for Xbox's first party, especially considering its art and music box sets are set to arrive in April. But again, like I said, take everything with a grain of salt because, that's the way these things go. So anyway, again, releasing stuff early is good because if you look at it, like Avowed got pushed back. Honestly, the things that we're kind of looking at is just a super interesting type of release slate. And it's, again, we're finally maybe at that point where a lot of us were looking for, the games to come out in a more steady pace and things like that. And we'll see if these are stuff that really kind of comes about or not. So again, there's a lot of stuff that Microsoft has on the up the sleeve or whatever, and that stuff that might very well end up being amazing. But at the same time, we'll have to see if that ends up being the case, and if that pays off for Microsoft long term. Because at the end of the day, hey, that's what it all comes down to. Like, is Microsoft going to be able to give people stuff to play? Like, and I think that's probably where we're at with all this right now. Is that going to be something that they continue to push in the future? Where, hey, they have, they've said they've wanted these big games and things like that released on a steady cadence, and we haven't really seen that so far. We haven't really seen the steady cadence of games, and I look at it and I go, yeah, that's unfortunate, but they can maybe kind of really kind of fix that in the future. So we'll see if that's something that they can actually kind of get out there and get everybody excited for for what Xbox has to offer. So again, I hope that they do a good job with this, and at the end of the day, we just have to make sure that they have things kind of cooking and things ready for fans. Like I said, if you look into what next year supposedly has to offer, every year Microsoft's first party is going to have Call of Duty. So they're probably not going to want to release a bunch of stuff around that time. Call of Duty usually releases around October, November, so that really kind of hampers things. They did release some stuff like Flight Simulator to some middling reviews and things like that, but it's like, I don't think a lot of console people are into Flight Simulator. I don't mean to sound like a jerk or anything, but honestly, I just don't see a lot of people into Flight Simulator as like, oh man, let me go boot up the Flight Simulator. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see that happening. And that's it kind of is what it is. Like, we all have particular things that we like and that we enjoy, and I'm sure that there is a market for Flight Simulator somewhere. I just personally don't find it to be on a console. I think it's much like those RTS games. God love them. There is an audience for them, but I feel like that audience is more in line with the PC crowd. And hey, look, there's nothing wrong with that. It's the same thing with like the top-down games. I'm not big into those games. It's not my type of thing. But there is some type of audience there, and I understand Microsoft is a company that is trying to cater to console people, trying to cater to a mix of everybody, really. And unfortunately, things don't always work out the way you want them to. And it's like us as Xbox fans get kind of left out sometimes, and I think that's the part where a lot of us struggle with that is that we get tired of being kind of left out in the dark, in the cold. I really just feel like that's the unfortunate kind of circumstance that we live in. Microsoft doesn't treat the console as like a big deal, and that's kind of unfortunate. But I think rectifying some of this stuff by saying, okay, well, we're going to have these major releases coming at a really, really good time. I think that's awesome. I feel like we could finally be in a spot where Microsoft wanted us to be all those years ago, and that could really pay off for us fans and things like that. So that's the hope anyway. You know what I mean? How would you guys feel about getting the multiple games and things like that? I feel like who's going to say no to that? It's just like one of those things where we're just kind of looking at things and going, this could really work out well for the Xbox fans, finally, and it's like, listen, I've been such an Xbox fan for so long. It's really a shame that, many years I've had to say stuff like, oh, well, next year will be Xbox's year, and then, it's never really worked out that way, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you do everything you can to kind of get fans excited or whatever, and it's just like Microsoft has done a really bad job of making sure that we have stuff to play, and that's just, you know, the truth of the nature of the beast. You know, we haven't really had that great lineup that many of us were looking for, so that might be looking to change finally. So I'm curious to hear what you guys think, though. Sound off in the comments below if you guys are expecting this, or if you guys are excited for this stuff. You know, we'll see how it turns out. I'm hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst. Thank you guys so much for watching. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up. I'll catch you next time. Crap gamer out.